Hello everyone. Today we are going to work on this confirmation dialog. So this is a fully customizable message and we can bind different events to yes and no inputs. So here I am going to use this for the quit button. If I press no, we are back in the main menu, but if I press yes, it quits the game. Since I am in the editor, it's just stop playing the game. But if I was on a built game, packaged game, it will just quit the game. So yeah, we have already worked on this part. Nothing else is done yet. So yeah, and also you can see here we have a nice but very simple fade in and fade out animation for the confirmation dialog as well. So I'm gonna show you how to set up that as well. And we are utilizing components that comes with common UI system in Unreal Engine 5.6 here. Alright, so before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all of the thousands of projects I have done in my channel. Once you become a member, you will be able to access everything without any limits. So to the date, there are over 2000 videos, and for each video, project files are available here. Alright, so this is what we have worked on so far. We have this main menu. These buttons are not working yet, but when I press settings, I can go to these options, and if I press back, I come back to the main menu again. And the next thing I want to work on is this quit button. When I press quit, I should get some confirmation dialog, something like that says, are you sure you want to quit? And then press yes and no. We will have buttons. If I press yes, the game will we will quit the game, otherwise we will go back to the main menu. Okay, so to do that, here first I'll create a new widget. So this confirmation dialog, I'm gonna implement it in a reusable manner so that it's not just for the quit dialog. I will be using this throughout the menu system for various purposes. So yeah, widget blueprint, user widgets. Let's call this WBP confirmation dialog. Should be simple. Okay. Now first, what I need is text that shows the message of the dialog box, and then two yes no buttons. So first I'll add a vertical box, right? And under this I'll add a command text. I'll call it CT because command text message. Okay, message should this be, and this should be a variable. So I'll use the earlier defined text style, common text style menu text. So it will be same as the font size and everything as the menu text I have used earlier defined, and I'll center it, and maybe we should make it. Alright, that's fine. Then we need another horizontal box to hold yes and no buttons next to this. So I'm gonna use this WVP menu button that I have created earlier. There are two of them. They should be centered. To move them into the center, oh right, I need to make this one centered like this. Okay, now first button should say yes. And the second one, no text. Now I want these buttons to be centered here, and also there should be some background. So this, when this appears, all other elements will be properly hidden or blurred out. So to do that, uh, let's wrap this vertical box with the border, common border, and then I can center this like this way. Okay, and I'll change the color of this to match some blue color from this background. So brush color. Well, actually, why not define a border style since we are using modify. So here under style, let's create new and plugins, UI styles, border style, background. Let's call it. Oh, like this, border style background. Okay. Now here, what if I make this blue? Something like this to match the background of the main image we have. So with transparent dark blue, compile. Yeah, see, now we have that. And we have the transparency as well, but it's not very clear here. Okay. One thing that I have that bothers me is this is not, it would be better if this is pushed over here. So let's add a spacer in the middle, select all of them, fill. Yeah, now it's better. So if I have something longer, they should automatically adjust. It doesn't look like that's not the case. Okay, then let's just leave it like this for now. So another thing is, instead of relying on this prefab, this widget that we have created, this custom widget we have created, we can create another one and make the text centers. But for now, I'm just gonna continue using this menu button widget so that we have this like sounds as well, but it wouldn't matter when we have a bit longer message. So this, let's call it button. Yes, button. No. Okay, and I'll also rename this text block. Dialog message. Okay. Oh, this part looks odd. Yeah, let's fill this. Yeah. Let's add a spacer now here in the middle. So we can push this to the edge. Yeah, like this. Okay, that's enough for the visual part. Or maybe we should have some space. So, and then I'll define a function here to show the request message. So the dialog message. So let's call it show dialog. And we would need, what's the message we want to show? So let's pass a text message. So we will get the message, command text, set text, pass the message like this. And then the way I'm going to set up this is, after that I'm going to add this to viewport. It's called simply add to viewport. So I'm going to keep this confirmation dialog widget not added to the viewport by default. So now let's go to the main menu. So when I press quit, I need to show the dialog. So let's add a on click event. Yeah. Now to show the dialog, we need to create a confirmation dialog widget. So let's create widget and confirmation dialog, get on in layer. So this, and then we can return it here. So I'll promote this part, collapse this part to a function, get dialog, and so this is confirmation dialog widget type. I'll convert this to a PO function so that we don't need to connect one of these here. And then, so we can reuse this easily. Show dialog. So now all I need is to pass the message. So let's promote this to a variable. Let's call it page message and the value. Are you sure you want to quit the game? Okay, now let's see how it looks. Are you sure you want to quit the game? Alright, so now that I think about this, maybe we should have this yes and no together, close together. And also it would be better to have some kind of a blur in the background so that I can't read those text. Okay, so let's move this spacer here. Yeah, yes, no. Okay, and as for the blur, we can wrap this border with the blur, ground blur. The default settings would work. Let's see. Oh no, it doesn't have any blur by default. Oh yeah, blur strength. Let's say 5. Yeah, this is better. Now when I press yes, if I press yes, I should actually close the game. If I press no, I should go back to the quit. So how do we do that? Let's add a dispatch. Here, when dispatch, what should I call it? Input dispatch. And let's add a variable from the type boolean. Yes, no. If it is true, we get a yes input. If it is false, we get a no input. And then here let's set on click events to both buttons for yes and no. And here I'll call input dispatch. For the yes, I'll call it with a true, and for the no, I'll call it with a false. Okay, now let's go back to the main menu. Oh, not this, main menu. And here, I'll bind event to input dispatch. And let's create an event. So let's create a matching function. Now this is the function. Let's call it quit confirmation on quit confirmation. So here, if we get a true, we actually need to quit the game, and we can get on in player and call quit game. So quit preference, yeah, quit. It should be enough. And one more thing. So no matter what the input I get, I should remove this widget from the parent. Whether I press yes or no, I should do that. So now let's say quit. If I press no, it simply removes the widget from the viewport. But if I press yes, so once I remove it, we are back on the main menu. So we don't really need to do anything. But if I press yes, it didn't do anything. Why? Check. Did this. Okay. Okay, I think 2 instances of this dialog box is getting created. So when I call it this way, so let's cache it. And here, yeah. Let's promote this to a variable. Let's call it WBP confirmation dialog. Then return that. Now, initially, let's check if we already have that. Is valid. If it is not valid, we should create one. Otherwise, we don't have to create. Let's just release it. Return it. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, it worked. Oh, add a debug point added here. Now let me remove that. So it is working now. Let me show you again. Quit. Press yes, it closes. And quit. Press no. Nothing happens. So what if I quit? Oh, let me try again. Quit. No. Quit. No. Quit. No. I just want to check if these multiple bindings persist throughout, but we don't have a way to test that yet. So maybe it's something to keep on mind for later, just in case we notice any weird behaviors. But if we want to be sure, we can do this. here unbind all events from input dispatch. Yeah, we can guarantee that no other events are firing. Future. Okay, that's all. Now, if we want some animation, we can do this. Here, let's add an animation. Put it in and white. Let me select the background blur. I'll make it a variable so I can key that. Oh, maybe that's not it. I can key it anyway. By default, I'll make it 0 and key it here and make it 1. Key again. So we have a simple fade in animation like this. Now, in the reconstruct, I'll play an animation. Ready? No. Wait, see? Now we get a simple animation. We don't have a fade out animation, but we can do the same thing here as well. Yes, it crosses. Okay. Well, we can do this actually pretty easily. We can play the animation backward or reverse and add a small delay. We only have 0.25 seconds or something. Well, actually from this, can I get the length? Yeah, I can. Actually, this does not return it correctly. So, what else we have? Time, get in time. This should work. Okay, let's see now. Wait, yeah, we got the animation. No, yeah, we got the fade in and fade out. Great. If I press yes, it closes. Alright, that's all I want to do in this episode. Well, it took 20 minutes, but hope it's worth it. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in another episode. Goodbye.